I am actually here with Miss Hungness herself. Shelby, you are making your amateur MMA debut over at Sparta Wyoming 7, which takes place at the Outlaw in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So you were just telling us a little history about how you procured the last name. I want to know how you procured this career choice. How did you get into combat sports? Because as you told me, you corrected me, you have three, not one, three kickboxing bouts. So how did you get into this crazy world of combat sports?
So honestly, I actually used to do Taekwondo from ages like 12 to 15. And this actually leads into how I became a personal trainer as well. So I was 12 to 15, did Taekwondo, got to like green belt, and I always loved the respect that came with martial arts, and feeling like there's always something bigger than yourself and having a bigger purpose when choosing a mindset going into anything combative. And it's just always been amazing. I never liked stuff like tennis or any of that shit, you know? So did Taekwondo, and my parents at the time were doing like boot camp workouts at this one, like just like basically open warehouse type place. And this one guy named Dustin owned it. And I started cleaning the gym for a free membership over there, and he did Muay Thai. And so he heard that I did Taekwondo, and he's like, fuck that shit. He's like, want to do some real martial arts? And I was like, oh, shit, all right. And so he's like, you're coming with me this Saturday to this Muay Thai gym that I train at. And he sounds like that. He's a jackass, but I love him. And I stepped into this gym, and I was the only girl there. And you walk in, and there's like a chain wall, you know, just the cage that was in there. And it smells like shit. And the guys have no respect for you. I'm 15 years old. Women's MMA I think like Ronda Rousey and Liz Carmouche were like having their event in the UFC maybe like 4 months after I even started. So women weren't in the UFC yet. And I just was like, how cool would it be, you know, if I were to pursue this and, you know, see what happens. I like the challenge of being in a space where I am the only woman, and to kind of like find a strength in like becoming a woman in a setting like that rather than, you know, whatever, anything else. And so anyway, had my first practice. They let me spar that first day. And this one guy, his name is he actually coaches over in California now. He's become a pretty decently well-known coach, Brian Blackburn. I think that he works with I forget which gym in California, but anyway, look him up. Amazing human being. Anyway, moved on to bigger and better things by this point, but he's like, so you want to be a Thai fighter, huh? And I was like, sure, you know, because I didn't know what that meant yet. And he's like, check my kick. And this dude blows at my fucking shin, just does this nasty low kick. I didn't know what a check was, so I just ate it. And to this day, I have like a dent in my shin. And he's like, if you come back tomorrow, I'll know you're serious. I was like, all right, I'll come back tomorrow. And I was like limping, just that nasty, just fucking hematoma on your shin. And that's just kind of how it all started. And I fell in love with it, and pain became a lot less important, you know, and became more relative, and trained, fought for a little bit out of a gym called MTC in Chicago. It was a gym that Curtis Blades is trained out of there. Bilal Muhammad, actually, I used to train with him. He doesn't like me very much because anytime I'd see him, I'd go, Bilal, and he didn't like that. But I competed for a little bit out of there, and then fell in love, moved away to Colorado with my boyfriend, took 5 years off, and here I am now. But it's...
Okay, so in the 5 years, were you still active, you know, at least in the gym?
Yeah, so I found Prodigy House Muay Thai when I was, right after COVID, so like a year ago, or like right after COVID kind of started letting up restrictions. So kind of like a year ago. And then I was training for a year before that over at Trials MMA, which I still cross train at. That's where I do all my jiu-jitsu. And so I was just focusing on jiu-jitsu for a while, just because when anytime I fought before, it was kickboxing, and I hated grappling, and it was hard, and I didn't want to learn it, and then I fell in love with it. And then I wanted to get better at striking, because I knew my striking just went out the window. And even then, when you're a teenager, how coachable are you? I wasn't really. So found Prodigy House, found Aaron, and then been training with him and just been having the best time, and figured why not give this shit one more go while I still have one more year on my parents' insurance. Because it's like good insurance, otherwise it's Medicaid after this baby. So I was like, one more year to give this one more real go and see what happens.
Okay, so was that like the motivating factor was getting off the insurance, or had you just decided, you know what, it's I either do this now or it's never really going to happen?
Yeah, that too. Just moving to Colorado. When I lived in Illinois and I was fighting, I lived at home. My parents made all of my meals for me. I didn't know what life really was. I was a kid that was really super privileged enough to have my parents cook every meal for me, and I didn't really have to work. It's different now. Like, fighting actually has a meaning. Like, I take time off of work. I've got bills to pay. I've got a family to feed, which is my boyfriend and my dog. Not really any for real family yet, but so it's just got a whole different meaning, and you grow so much by the time you turn 25. I'm like, you know what? I could do this seriously. I'm coachable. I feel confident in who I am, and when I was a kid, I didn't. I couldn't even really tell you, I don't really remember fighting when I was younger, because there was a huge growth period between that time. I genuinely barely remember it. One more go. Insurance was also a just kind of safety net, where it's like, well, even if whatever happens, you got good insurance. If my nose gets broken, I get that nose job covered by insurance. Let's go. You get it? So yeah.
Well, see, I don't think I've ever been cracked in the nose real good, because it's still pretty out there. So I think I made out okay.
You've got the stone man nose. It's very strong.
It is very strong. It is. I feel like Nigel Thornberry.
Oh, don't say that about yourself.
Hello, I'm Nigel Thornberry.
I've got the hawk thing going on, because I have had my nose friggin' nailed in. So I feel like the bump has kind of transformed.
Right? It's just weird that I haven't. I've been punched in the nose before, but maybe it was pillows. I don't know. I don't know.
Good genetics, man. Good genetics.
Yeah. Strong genetics.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
All of the men and women in my family after my dad, right? We all look like him. It's fucking eerie.
No, that is strong genetics. I was gonna say you've got South American in you, and I cannot see it.
Well, my dad is 100% gringo. So, hey, what can you do? What can you do? So, was there any hesitancy to go for MMA as opposed to, something you had already done before, kickboxing?
Sure, the head. You know what? When making the decision, when my coach asked, "Hey, do you want kickboxing or MMA?" I was just like, MMA, because I feel like it just kind of represents where I'm at. I'm just a lot more well-rounded. I really love grappling. It's definitely it's a big stamp or a patch on my denim jacket of life, where I hated something, but I chose to do it, even though I hated going every day. And my boyfriend's a big grappler. We're both trainers, and so he's He's really good at explaining things, and so he's usually my partner, which is super fun because he's like 200 pounds. But also having him push me a little bit and just being like, yeah, you know what, like, yeah, it sucks and it's hard to learn, but get the fuck over it because it's fucking awesome. And if you just gave it a chance and stop being a stubborn asshole at practice, like, you'd learn it and you'd become good at it. And that's just kind of what happened. And I love competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments, although I've only done it twice. So yeah. So why not MMA? But it's
Okay, and bad host, because I didn't look up your opponent. Who are you fighting, and what do they do well?
Jasmine Montoya. Her dad owns Factory X, which is super cool, and I thought was super exciting, because, you know, even if I do have a fight record, you know, she's been around it forever. Her dad's a top level coach for amazing fighters that I look up to in the UFC. So, like, hell fucking yeah, dude, I'll fight that person, because no matter what, that's an amazing experience. And I hear that she's a good boxer, and I mean, I believe that, you know, it's not like
Hold up. I gotta make fun of you a little bit. She's a good what?
boxer.
Okay, I thought you said boxer.
Oh, ooh, I may have.
It sounded like you said she's a good boxer.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I'm from the Midwest and the suburbs of Chicago. I'm not cool enough to be from Chicago, the suburbs, but yes.
well, shit. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, the namesake alone is pretty dope, right? Because Montoya, like, he's really, really good.
Yeah.
He's like you said, one of the best dudes to ever do it. And you got to fight his kid? Damn.
Yeah, dude. Hell
Damn.
yeah.
Your cojones are like this. I mean, they're huge.
Well, and so, like, there was like a little kind of like back and forth on a little Sparta comment thread, where, like, this dude, and he was just being nice. He was just being like a fan and just like commenting, you know. And he was like, my bet is on the girl that looks fit and doesn't care about looks, because Jasmine Montoya is like this beautiful girl. I think she's a model. I think she does some sort of modeling, and that's what, like, you see on her Instagram. And so I commented back, and I was just like, hey, you know, I've trained with Pearl Gonzalez, who now fights for Invicta. She was in the UFC. She used to be my training partner. Another boxer, Tina Gomez, she was amateur, but beautiful girls. And they put a lot of effort into their appearance, whatever that means. But those girls, like, fucking beat my ass, you know? So it's like, you can't, like, they big sistered me, dude. When I was a kid, like, there was no easy days. Like, they didn't give a fuck. And so I was just kind of like, hey, man, don't judge this girl by her looks. Like, I've trained with beautiful women before, and they pack quite the punch. Just because she's beautiful doesn't mean she should be doubted, you know, in any way. And plus, I don't know, it's an amateur debut. It doesn't, you know, like, it's you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as far as, like, you know, records are concerned, right? Because once you go pro, your amateur record goes away, which means I should, you know, just turn pro, because then I'm no longer 0-2. I'm undefeated, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
I can have, but it's never going to happen. But you know, what you were saying is, man, I've seen so many hot chicks. Sorry, excuse me. I've seen so many beautiful women, right?
You're okay.
Get in there and whoop some ass.
Mm-hmm.
That is called judging a book by its cover.
Yeah. And that, you can't.
Not anymore. You see, and what I love about MMA, right, is guys like Joe Lozon. Joe Lozon looks like he is the number one on the debate team, number one in the chess club. He looks like, you know, he's a very knowledgeable person. Okay, the dude looks like a bookworm.
Yeah.
But that guy will beat the brakes off of just about any. You know what I mean? So MMA completely changed my perspective on, you know, judging a book by its cover. Because seriously, I'm not joking. Once I got into MMA, and you're watching guys like, you know, back in the day, Lozon, Bonner, and, you know, even further back, if you go to, like, you know, the early UFCs where, some of the guys were just larger than life people, right?
Yeah.
They were, I forget what the big Samoan or Hawaiian dude's name was. He was actually on Hawaii 5-0. Fun fact. But all these guys are just larger than life. And then you see a dude like Joe Lozon get in there, and I'm like, okay, I could kick his ass.
Look at any jiu-jitsu dude, bro. Walk into a jiu-jitsu gym and tell me that's not a bunch of nerds in there. Like,
for real. And guess what? They will fucking twist me up into a pretzel before I can even get out one.
Yeah, you better believe it.
And that would be a fluffy pretzel, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So, why Strawweight? Is there a reason? Do you feel like there's a competitive edge? Is it hard to put on weight? Why Strawweight?
So, I actually, when I was kickboxing for a little bit, I used to fight at 125. And then just becoming a trainer and just kind of becoming more knowledgeable on nutrition and proper strength and conditioning. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. So it just became a lot easier and healthier. Like, I'm already on weight. I'm like walking around like 120. Just when you're training that much, like I train a lot, dude. I mean, a lot. Like, obviously you have to go to practice like in the next 20 minutes, whatever it is. But I train like 12 hours a week just training with my coach on top of doing the rehab work that I got to do, road work that I got to do. So I just can't keep on weight. So why not? I walk around there anyway. So I feel good at that weight. I feel taller at that weight too. I'm like 5'6", 7-ish. So it's nice to feel a little bigger.
I am 5'6.5", maybe 5'7" on a great day.
So we're the same height. Beautiful.
Yeah, but I outweigh you by like a whole leg and a half.
Yeah. Well, I'd hope so, because it would be weird if you were like 120.
Well, I mean, honestly, with how short I am and how little my T-Rex arms are, right? If I was ever going to fight again, the proper weight class would be 125. But I would have to lose a leg and a half to get there, and yeah, no thank you.
That's not worth it. I do train with 2 guys that have 1 leg, though.
That's cool.
Have you ever heard of Be Bold Boxing? Rustin Hughes, he owns it. He teaches one of our guys that fought the last Sparta event, the boxing match that was that night. Our guy Brandon fought, and I forget his opponent's name, but he also works in that program, Be Bold Boxing, and they help amputees learn how to box. But he's awesome. The most terrifying dude you could ever roll with, Russ. He's like, 1 leg is an advantage to that man. Like, he's a wizard in there, bro. So maybe lose the leg if the number matters on the scale. I'm telling you, I've gotten choked out with a nub, bro. Nasty style.
Oh man. Well, that's legit. That's legit. That's somebody that's not letting their situation ruin whatever they're into, whether it be boxing, rolling, or whatever. That's dope.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
And those guys, they've been through some shit, so they're 9 times out of 10 like really awesome people.
Oh yeah, I mean, Russ is like the Jesus of the gym. He's like the light of the gym, the wisdom dude that you go to and stuff. Yeah, amazing human being.
That's dope. But no, I've already decided if it were to ever happen again, right? So that's if, right? And there's so many injuries that I would have to either get over or just deal with, right? Yeah. I know that nobody goes in 100%, but I have stuff that's been going on for 6-7 years. Sure. I would just, okay, whatever I could get down to is what I would fight at. So if it's only 170, I'd be at a huge disadvantage. But if that's what I want to do, then, that'd be the weight class. I have a feeling I could get lower than 170 because that's only 15 pounds from now. But I don't even fucking run anymore. I don't run. I've gotten so Listen, I've gone on a hiatus from exercise right now.
That's okay, as long as you get back into it one day. Personal trainer Shelby will tell you, little things every day go a long way. I'm just kidding. Hey man, running's not fun. I mean, it is if you can get yourself in the mood and the mental space and focused on your breath work and just but just if you hate it, it's not fun for sure.
I love running. That's the problem. I do. I used to love running, but I broke my foot. So running is not fun at all.
No, bro, that's not fun at all.
Not fun at all. So it sucks because like literally I wouldn't even have a fight. I would just be like, hey, I'm gonna go on a run, throw in the headphones and just disappear for an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So while we're on the topic of music, since I brought it up like a jackass, let's talk about what kind of music have you been listening to in preparations for your fight?
Oh man, The Doors is one of my most favorite bands. Led Zeppelin. I love Cream. I love Curtis Mayfield, Idris Muhammad, they're just like some funk gods. I'm a big classic. I don't even want to say classic rock because that could mean AC/DC, and I hate AC/DC. I'm just
Thank you.
AC/DC sucks, bro. Stop me with that shit.
Now hold on, real quick. Does the singer not sound? I mean, he sounds like fucking Elmo.
He probably gargles bleach, dude, to sound like that. It's just like, yes. If Elmo smoked a lot of cigarettes for a long time, yes.
And who's to say he hasn't?
I guarantee that man has, but amongst many other things.
I was talking about Elmo, but okay.
Oh, snap. Oh, damn. I look like an asshole.
I mean, could you imagine trying to entertain kids for like decades?
Yeah.
I mean, he probably smokes more than cigarettes, let's be honest.
I'd be smoking some extra weed during that time. Yeah.
Okay. So now the nutrition, right? Because you say you're also a nutritionist. How did you get into that? Did it just come along with fighting, or did you just want to be healthier? Like, how did you get into that?
So I wouldn't say that I'm a nutritionist. I'm not certified in nutrition. I'm just aware of nutrition just to let people know.
Knowledge is power. I'm with it.
Yes, I just don't have the piece of paper. But yeah, just like teaching yourself, not even for the sake of like getting enough vegetables today and all that stuff, but like not being scared of carbs and like just eating what you gotta freaking eat, to be able to survive. Because when I was a kid and I was fighting, I was nervous about eating a sweet potato. You know what I mean? A fucking sweet potato and like nervous about eating too many carbs and all this stuff. And I actually ended up damaging my thyroid. This is also why I took a lot of time off. So I ended up actually becoming hypothyroid. So my thyroid wasn't working at all. And so my energy levels were just super low, blah, 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 blah. Got my thyroid fixed, stopped being scared of carbs, and realized how much damage you can do to yourself just by not eating enough. And so from that aspect, that's how much it's helped everything.
You know who is not afraid of carbs? That's right. This guy, I am not. The other day, I had 2 donuts and a cheese crisp for dinner.
Good for fucking you. Hey, man, you knew what you wanted and you got it.
And they were not light donuts. These things were heavy. So I'm a huge foodie. I'm a food junkie.
Do you like Anthony Bourdain? Anthony Bourdain fan?
You see, that's the thing. Like, he died, and I'm like, yo, that guy Anthony Bourdain died, but I didn't like follow him or anything that he ever did.
Dude,
am I fucking up here?
You gotta watch his stuff. I mean, that dude is one of my biggest inspirations of all time. Amazing human being. He has that show, No Reservations. Anthony Bourdain, Places Unknown. I think that some of it is on Hulu, I want to say. But definitely watch it. Great show. But back to donuts, you should watch it. That's it.
Done deal. If it has anything to do with food, I used to watch. What was it, like Man versus Food, where that guy would just go to places and try to eat their crazy platter, and I'm just like, yo, sign me up for 2.
Yeah, it's like, I'll do that.
And I'll come by myself, and I'll still eat 2. Like, let's
For
go.
free. Like,
And I get a T-shirt. I'm in. I'm in.
done.
So that leads me to one of my favorite questions, right? And so you're kind of a little smart when it comes to nutrition. So this may be a flop answer. I don't know. Maybe you'll surprise me. We'll find out right now. But what is going to be the victory meal after you get the W over at Sparta 7?
Dude, honestly, I've been eating victory meals every day. Like, I've been like, I haven't had to like not eat victory meals, but I will say one of my sponsors, Big's Meat Wagon, that is 100% wherever that guy is, I'm going there to get some victory, delicious food, because that man makes barbecue like nobody else. Nobody else, dude. Best.
Okay. So is it like, are you doing barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs? What are we doing?
Brisket and mac and cheese.
Mm.
Yeah. Burnt ends. Yes.
Mm. Yeah, see, you did not disappoint. Thank you.
Cornbread. Yes.
Not too keen on the cornbread, but maybe I just haven't had the right one. I think that's the problem.
That is. I'm gonna send you some Pinterest recipes, okay, that are for sure amazing, and they will change your mind.
See, because my thing is it's always dry, so you always have to drink or eat something after. You know what I mean? See, that's what I'm saying.
That's not it. That's that you got that
That Jiffy from the box shit.
that homeschools her children cornbread. You need like that grandma cornbread. You know what I'm saying? If you get that cornbread, that's that oily, just breaks apart. You can't even pick it up. You just got to eat it with a spoon. Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. So, like I said, maybe that Jiffy from the box shit ain't working.
No, I'm sending you a recipe.
Okay. If I don't get a recipe, I am going to be thoroughly upset because I would like some decent cornbread here.
I got you.
Okay. So, thank you for not disappointing. That was an awesome answer. I love barbecue. Surprised me with brisket. I thought we were going, ribs and drumsticks, like, a Viking or a king, you know what I mean? But you went straight to brisket, which.
Yeah.
I'm with that 100%. Now, do you do it in a sandwich or you just do a slab?
It depends how much, you know what? It depends on how much work I felt like went into the brisket. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to some crappy, serious Texas barbecue brisket, yeah, put that shit in between some bread because I don't even want to look at it, but I'll eat it. But if it's something that I know has been in a smoker all day, maybe the day before, and it's got that beautiful little red line, that little red smoke line below the fat, I can't put that in between 2 slices of bread. You know what I'm saying?
I do know. I felt that in here.
Yes.
Okay. I felt that 100%. So it sounds like you actually know your barbecue, which is great. It's fantastic.
I do.
Yeah. It sounds like you do. So, well, shit, you got me all kinds of super pumped. It was great talking to you.
Yes.
I have a feeling, again, this is another one of those sneaking suspicions that we're going to have you on the show again because this was a lot of fun.
I would anytime. I would love, it's a dream. I can make a podcast tomorrow and just talk to nobody, but I love talking and I love interviews. So thank you so much, Stephen, for having me on. Stephen or Steven?
Oh, it's Steven.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, it's so close. So close.
It's all right. You see, my whole name is fucked up. My whole name is fucked up.
You know what? Fix it. How about that? Just go fix it. Sick of it. I'm sick of this Steven Stephen shit. Look, there's a PH in there. I'm saying Stephen. There's no. It's, what do you expect from me? Stephanie is with a PH. When you put, you know what I'm saying? You can't put a V in there.
I do know what you're saying.
That's
Just cool. All right. Well,
all right, buddy.
before I let you go, let my people know where they can follow you on social media.
You can follow me on Instagram. It is Shelby Hungness Fit. I don't remember if there's an underscore in there, but you'll find me. You type in Shelby Hungness. I'm the only one. I have a Facebook page, but it is not being used, so please don't add me on there. I just do it to see the like jiu-jitsu competition pages and all that stuff. But Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Shelby Hungness Fit. That's
all right. Well, I'll find out if there is an underscore in there, and I will put it in the description of this video.
Beautiful.
All right. Yes, I am. Thank you. So also, you have sponsors, training partners, whoever you would like to thank. Go ahead and take the floor.
Yes, thank you so much, Prodigy House Muay Thai. I mean, Aaron has been a godsend in my life when it comes to coaches. Like, that man doesn't realize how amazing of a coach he is. If I could just even have a whole time to talk about that man, I mean, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I ever called myself a striker before that dude. I'm embarrassed that I even ever took kickboxing fights before that dude. He is a mastermind and a hidden gem. I'm so grateful for him. Thank you, Biggs Meat Wagon, for sponsoring me, because I was a big fan of Biggs Meat Wagon, and coach was like, hey, we got you a sponsor. I was like, no way. Oh, snap. I've got other sponsors. I have other sponsors, and I'm not remembering their names right now, and definitely didn't look at them before I did this interview. So I have other sponsors that I will make very well known on the interweb. Don't you worry, okay? Maybe I'll have you put them in the description or something for forgiveness. But yes, teammates, I mean, I train with Gabby Guerrero. If you do not know who that girl is, she's another 115. Now only boxing. She was the Strawweight kickboxing champion for another organization that my coach actually used to own. She is a bad motherfucker. I will never, like, no matter who I fight, they will never be as scary as Gabby Guerrero. So remember that name, because you'll hear from her. She's a bad motherfucker. Bad motherfucker. Gorgeous girl. That girl's eyeliner doesn't come unwinged by the end of practice. Eyeliner is perfect by the end, because she gives it to you. So thank you so much to all my other training partners. You know who you are. Brandon Henson, who is also fighting that night, same night as me. Just a brother, man. That man, him and I keep each other's energies in check all the time. So without that man, I mean, the fight would still be a lot of fun, but now it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. And thank you, Steven, for having me on this show. And it was a great time, and I can't wait to do it again.
Me either. 100%. This is by far one of the funnest interviews I've ever done. And it takes two. So it's not just me, it's you.
Well, thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for today.
Not a problem. We will talk soon. I promise.
Done. All right, buddy. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
get off to practice.
Catch you on the flip side, man.